everything right, it was you and me.
Hello everyone, my name is Nayeema and welcome back to my channel, or two if you are new. And today's video is going to be fall romance recommendations or back to school romance recommendations. If you missed my books I brought with me to college video, you wouldn't know that I moved into my college apartment. I started school last week and I'm honestly just in such the fall spirit, as you can see by the flannel. I just love fall. It's one of my favorite months ever, and honestly I have been wanting to film one of these videos for a while. There is like two sides to me. There's the side of me who loves fall romance books where it's like back to school and the sports and this and like the small town, but then there's the dark romance side to me. This video is specifically like back to school, cutesy, fall, small town vibes. And then we have my dark romance fall video that will come out probably in October, which is like dark romances to read like in this Halloween season, you know? Yeah, I'm just in the spirit of school and homework, coffee, and leaves everywhere. So that's what this video is inspired by. If you guys have read any of the books that I will be mentioning today, comment down below and let me know your thoughts if you like them, and also recommend me and the fellow commenters your favorite romance books that give fall vibes. Also, you guys should definitely go ahead and follow me on my Instagram, nayemasreads. I mentioned this in my last few videos, but I am planning on doing a giveaway and I'm very excited about it. Just a way to say thank you and give to you guys. It's a lot easier to do giveaways on Instagram than YouTube. Otherwise I would do it on here. So make sure you guys are following my Instagram for updates and things going on in my life, things that I'm currently reading, and all of the above. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into my fall / back to school romance recommendation video. Okay, so the first book that I'm going to recommend is Blindside by 𝓫𝓲𝓬𝓪. I loved this book. I need to own this book as soon as possible. I was just consumed by this book. I feel like I say this a lot, but I honestly genuinely have never related to a character more than I related to Gianna. This is a fake dating sports romance. We have our hero Clay, and he's pretty much like a star player, maybe a quarterback, possibly. I think he's the quarterback of his school's college football team. And then we have Gianna, who is the PR assistant. So basically she has to work super closely with the team and get them interviews. Right off the bat, I was super excited to read this book because my major is public relations, PR, what Gianna does. And on top of that, Gianna has never been in love. She loves reading romance books and smut. She has never been in love, and she's a PR student. So I don't know, I was just really vibing with this book. Clay, we see in the first book, which is Fair Catch, which is another book that I would totally recommend. Both of these books by 𝓫𝓲𝓬𝓪 just give immaculate fall vibes, but specifically I'm going to talk about Blindside. We see in the first book Clay, and he is so in love with his girlfriend. They're on top of the world. He's just so happy. He's even offering advice to other couples. And in the beginning of this book, we find out that his girlfriend dumped him. So he is distraught. Not only did she dump him, she now goes to his college, and now she's on the cheerleading team, so they're always going to see each other. Her reason was she wanted to see like what else was out there, like she wanted to grow. Gianna and Clay know each other obviously because she does the PR for his team, and because of this breakup he is just not willing to cooperate. He doesn't want to talk to press, he doesn't want to talk to journalists. Like, he wants to play the game, get in, get out, and go home and cry and be sad. Obviously that is not going to work for Gianna because she's like, hey listen, I have a job to do. So one day she's like, meet me at this coffee place after practice, let's talk, let's make a deal. I can work with you if you work with me. So he goes to go meet up with her in this coffee house. He sees that she is completely obsessed with the person on the stage playing the guitar and singing. She is just enraptured by him. Like, she cannot stop staring at him. And he's like, maybe I can help you get the guy you want, and you can help me get back with my ex-girlfriend. So they strike up a deal to fake date so they can get the respective person to like them. Obviously romance ensues. This book is so hot and so fun. I was living my life while reading this book. I was just enjoying life. Amazing smut in here because Gianna reads like romance books and smut. He'll like go and like read her books and she gets super embarrassed and flustered, and he like takes notes. She's also a virgin, so there's that in there as well. Like, this book was freaking amazing. I loved it. I highly recommend for this fall season, for fall romance recommendations. You have the sports romance element. It's honestly just such a vibe. Like, the fact that they meet at like coffee, he's like the person that she wants is like a guitarist and he sings, and it's just so wholesome. And it all takes place in a college town, which could not be more fall in my opinion. So yeah, highly recommend Blindside by Candy Steiner. I'm so excited for the third book to come out. It's like standalones, but they're obviously all interconnect in the same world, in the same university. And yeah, I really enjoyed this one, and I feel like you guys will too if you love fake dating and all things college. The next book that I'm going to recommend is Frayed by Laura Pavlov, and this is the first book in the Willow Spring series, I believe is the name of the series. I recently read this because it was recommended to me by Nina, and she was so right. I love this book. If you love small town Gilmore Girl vibes, pick up this book and this entire series. I've only read the first one so far, but the series just looks so amazing. So we have the classic good girl, bad boy trope. It all takes place in this small town, I believe in Texas. And we have a girl who is been very sheltered her entire life. She has her friend group who she is so close with. She loves them dearly, and they have been best friends since they were very small. There is 5 of them. I believe each of them gets their own book, or maybe even 6 of them, but each of them gets their own book. They are just so close. They live in this small town together. They do all these things. It just gives such like small town vibes. I love it so much. She also has a boyfriend who she has been dating for the longest time. Their moms are best friends. She just, like I said, has lived a very sheltered life. So it is the start of their senior year, and this year the girls want to make memories. They want to do things outside of the norm. They want to experience things that they haven't experienced yet because this is their last year together and the life that they knew. So the heroine is pretty much like the good girl of the group. She listens to everything her parents say. She applied to the schools that her mom wanted her to go to. Like, she has been with this relationship with this guy. Throughout the book, we just see that her boyfriend is not a very good boyfriend. Like, he does things that the readers are just kind of like, that's sus, that's a red flag. But at the same time, she is developing a close relationship with this boy named Jet Stone. They're opposites in every way. He comes from a poor family who a lot of the town gossips about, and they did not like him until he became a star on the high school's football team. And then we have her, who comes from a very rich family, and yeah, so these two become partners in school. They're working on a project together and they become pretty close. Basically, when ultimately her and her boyfriend break up, Jet is kind of there to help her pick up the pieces. They developed a romance that just made me feel so nostalgic. Like, I feel like if I read this, don't get me wrong, I loved it now, but if I read this back in like middle school or something, I probably would have been mapping out my life to be exactly like hers. Like, I just loved this book. It was so cute. Everything, like from the places that they would eat at the small town, from where they would go to, from the fun activities they do where they would like jump off cliffs and stuff. It's like such a good small town vibe. They'd swim in like lakes, and like it was just, I loved it so much. I feel like this book had a lot of emotion to it, a lot of like growing pains and just like getting older. It made me feel all warm and tingly inside. Two people find true love and fall in love for the very first time, and it just had the best vibes ever. If you like Gilmore Girls, if you like Friday Night Lights, pick this book up. It was so cute, and it did have some steam in it. Not a lot. It was a good time. So yeah, I really recommend this book for fall romance recs. It is so cute. It just has the best vibes ever. And yeah, the next book that I'm going to recommend to you guys is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. And if you have not read this book, what are you doing? There is a reason why this book became so popular last fall, and I honestly read it last fall and it got me out of a reading slump, and it just made me feel so motivated to be at school. I was like, okay, I need to do my homework, I need to do things. Like, it just gives the best fall vibes. This is another fake dating romance where the guy is obsessed, completely obsessed. The guy falls first and harder and all the things. Like, this is such an amazing book, and I cannot wait to read Love on the Brain, which is Ali Hazelwood's newest release. Girl named Olive, and she is a PhD student. She's working to get her doctorate or something. I don't know all the things. Is having a hard time dating. In her program, like, she's dated a few people, it didn't work out, she'd go about her separate ways, and right now she's honestly just kind of over it. She was dating this guy, and now she can tell that her best friend is interested in the guy that she used to date. But her best friend is like a good friend, and she's like, no, you used to date him, I'm not going to do that. And Olive can tell that like they both really like each other, but her best friend won't allow herself to just push through that and just be with him. So Olive takes matters into her own hands. She basically is like, what are you talking about? I don't want him. In fact, I'm dating someone else now. Like, I even have a date with him tonight. Like, just go ahead and be with him. Like, I do not care. She lies and says that she's going on a date. Instead, she is at school in the labs doing something for work, and she does not expect to see her best friend rounding the corner about to catch her in her lie. So Olive does what any usual person about to get caught in a lie would do. She grabs the nearest guy to her and lays a big kiss on him. Guys, I love it. Please read this book if you haven't already. Like, it is so good. So obviously he's like, did you kiss me? And she was like, no, like, I definitely did not kiss you. What are you talking? Like, no, I did not kiss you. So she ends up kissing a professor who works in her program, not her teacher, but like a professor, and he is well disliked by everybody. He is a very harsh grader. He's not very lenient. So you just always heard rumors to not take classes from him, stay away from him. And they decide to fake date. Finds out why Olive kissed him in the first place, and he's like, okay, well, why don't we fake date and like make it so it's more believable? Like, she obviously just saw us kiss. Let's fake date. So they agree to fake date, and it is so good. Them fake dating has caused some problems between her and like her fellow classmates. They really do not like this man. So the fact that she's like dating him and ruffles some feathers, it's such a good fall romance. Like I said, it really motivated me to just like do my work and got me in the spirit of school. So I really recommend this book. These two have actually met before, but she does not remember. I won't go into details, even though it is literally like the first scene of the book. But he has been obsessed with her for a very long time, and it's so good, guys. So pick up this one. The next book that I'm going to recommend gives a bit of a different vibe than the other books that I have recommended, and that is The Tyrant Alpha's Rejected Mate by Kate C. Wells. And I know you guys are looking at this cover right now and you're like, ooh, like, I'm not reading this book. No, read this book if you like werewolf romances, if you like paranormal, if you like fall vibes. I can't really explain what in this book just gives me the best fall vibes. Maybe it's the fact that they're werewolves and they live in a pack. Like, it just gives the best werewolf fall vibes, and I loved this book. It's definitely one of my favorites of the year thus far. So please pick it up. If you like books that I recommend, then trust me and read this book. Like, it is so good. Please do yourself a favor if you like werewolf romances. Basically, this, like I said, is just a different vibe from the other books that I've recommended so far, but it is such a good vibe. Ugh, I love it so much. We have the alpha of this pack. Kind of a tyrant, not in a super cruel way, but he really is just focusing on the higher rank. He just cares about training and like has the people do their jobs. He just isn't the nicest alpha in the world, and his name is Killian. Then we have Una. She is a lone female, and in this pack, females rank the lowest in the pack, especially if you don't have a family, if you don't have a mate. Like, you are just the bottom of the low of the pack. She's also never shifted before. She has a bad leg. Like, she is just never looked upon. People really underestimate her. One day, she's kind of like in the dining hall cafeteria area, and she feels a pull towards the alpha, Killian. And so her wolf inside of her is going crazy. She's like, that's my, like, she starts to think that is my mate. I don't want to spoil too much, but things get very messy very fast. There's another female wolf there who is like basically like rubbing her hands all on the alpha, just like getting his attention, and her wolf gets pissed. So they get into a huge fight, and the alpha asks, why did you just fight her? And in front of everyone, this girl goes, because you're my mate, to the tyrant alpha. Guys, it is so good. So basically he's like, everybody knows that I do not have a mate. Like, what is this? Like, please leave me alone. Basically embarrasses her. Because of this, her wolf inside is like screaming and is so upset, and so she just runs away. She runs into the pack witch, and she tells the witch what happens. And she's like, I just need something to take away the pain. Like, she is in full pain. She's in heat. It is not good. And the witch is like, I can help you. I can break the mate bond on your end. You can go about your life, be fine. You won't feel like a big pull to him anymore. So she does. And the witch goes, he's gonna regret it because I broke the mate bond on your side, but not on his side. So whenever he feels it, it's gonna hit him hard and he's gonna try everything in his power to get you back. And that's exactly what happens. It is such a good romance book, guys. Like I don't think I've met one person who read this and hated it, for good reason. Kate C. Wells can write some amazing romance. I loved this book so incredibly much. And yeah, there's some really good groveling. There's some really good, well, you rejected me in front of everyone, so it's your problem to deal with now. Can't express how much I love this book. Like I said, it's probably going to be one of my favorite books of the entire year, especially because a lot of books haven't wowed me so far, but this book was so amazing, guys. Please pick it up. Even if you're not sure about werewolf romances, just try it. Just try one. It is so good. I love werewolf romances, and they're basically the only paranormal romances I read, so yeah, pick this one up if you have not already. It gives the best fall vibes. And the last book that I'm going to recommend is a little bit of a tease for my like October fall recommendation book, like Halloween dark romance vibes, and that is Gothy Khanna by Rooney. I loved this book so much when I read it last fall. It's like a dark romance but not super dark, and I just honestly think that it gives the best fall vibes ever. It basically follows this girl named Corvina, and she has had a very unconventional childhood. She was raised in the woods by her mom in a small town where everybody in the small town has talked about her and her mom, made up rumors about her and her mom. Her and her mom both have purple eyes, and they're just very bizarre people, so she's just never really gelled well with any of them. She's also just like the coolest heroine that I've ever read about. She reads tarot cards, she does like rituals for the moon. She's basically just full witch vibes, and I loved it so much. Something has happened to her mom. We don't really know what, but we know that Corvina, she really wants to start the next life of her chapter, and right at the perfect time, she gets a letter saying that she has been invited to attend this University of 𝓲𝓸𝓬𝓲. Corvina has never heard of the University of 𝓲𝓸𝓬𝓲, but she decides that this just needs to be a fresh start for her, so she decides to go. She is like later in the game in college. She's starting college at 21 years old. She goes, and right away she can tell that something is off with the energy of the campus. She is somebody who reads vibes and reads energies and feels things and feels spirits, and she can tell some shit has gone down at this university. This is basically a professor-student relationship, which I don't love, but this one really did it for me. I loved it so much. Maybe it was just the overall vibes, but I thought it was so good. A professor who is so captivated by Corvina, and also at the same time there are mysteries going on. People keep dying, people are committing suicide, so look into the triggers for this one. And she just feels things are off. She has some mysteries to unsolve. Is the professor keeping secrets? Is he not keeping secrets? What is going on with everyone? Why are people dying? I just love this book for fall romance recs. It really gives a great dark academia vibe as well. The vibes in here are just right, and I highly recommend if you kind of like the darker side of fall, which I do. I like both, obviously, by the nature of this video. So yeah, if you like teacher-student romances, if you like a college new adult romance, if you like kind of just like a badass heroine who reads tarot and crystals and does rituals by the moon, like it's just such a good vibe. And also a very spooky university where mysteries are happening, pick this one up. So that was the last book that I'm going to recommend for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to leave a big like and a comment below. Let me know if you guys have read any of these romances that I recommended today, and also let me know if you guys have any more to recommend. I would love to add them all to my TBR. And also don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you, and I will see you very shortly with a new one. Bye.
If I got one thing right, it was you.